It's 2:14 in the morning. Somewhere in a quiet room, a server that should be sleeping just sent 40 gigabytes of data to an IP address in another country. Nobody touched a keyboard, but on a SOC Analyst screen, one line light up gold, an unusual outbound connection. To understand why that single line matters, why it's the difference between catching a breach and reading about it in news next 6 months later, you need to understand the thing underneath all of it. Networking. This is where every cyber attack travels. And if you can't read the road, you can't catch what's driving on it. I am Netra. Welcome to week 1. Over the next few minutes, we build your foundation. By the end of this video, you will understand how data really moves across a network, the device that moves it, the different shapes a network can take, and the language we use to describe it all. 4 parts, 1 mission. By the end, when you look at the network traffic, you will stop seeing noise and start seeing a story. Let's open the first door. Why networking matters? Let's start with a question every beginner skips. Why does a security analyst need to understand networking at all? Here is the honest answer. Every single thing an attacker does has to travel. A phishing link, stolen passwords, malware calling home, data being stolen. None of it telereports. It moves across a network as a traffic, living tracks. The network is the crime scene, and a SOC analyst who doesn't understand networking is a detective who can't read footprints. So, let's get the words right. Because beginners mix this up constantly. A network is simply 2 or more devices connected so they can share data. Your phone and your laptop on the same home Wi-Fi, that's a network. The internet is just the largest network on the planet, a network of networks. Now watch what happens in the half second after you type google.com and hit enter. Your device, the client, doesn't actually know where Google lives. So first, it asks for directions. It sends a request to a DNS server, the internet's phone book, and asks, what's the address for google.com? DNS answers with an IP address. Now, your client knows where to send its request. That request travels through your router, out of your internet provider, across the world until it reaches one of Google's server. The server does the work and sends a response back along with the same kind of path. The page loads. It felt instant, but that was a conversation between a client and a server, crossing dozens of devices in under a second. And here is where it becomes security. Remember client and server, because most attacks are just the same conversation bent. Malware on victim's machine is a client too, but instead of asking Google for web page, it's calling a server the attacker controls, asking for instructions. We call that command and control. Same mechanic, same packets, same path, different intent. The analyst who understands the normal conversation is the one who spots the abnormal one. That's why networking is stage 1. Not because it's tradition, because you can't defend a road you can't read. Now, the most important concept in networking, the packet. When you send a message, a photo, or a video, it doesn't travel across the internet as one giant file. It gets broken into small pieces called packets. Each packet can travel independently across the network before being put back together at the destination. That's what makes modern networks fast, efficient, and reliable. Let's open one packet. Every packet has 2 parts. The header contains the addressing information, where the packet came from, where it's going, the protocol, and other routing details. The payload contains the actual data. Remember this line. The header tells you the who, where, and how. The payload tells you the what. Packet journey. Now let's follow a packet on its journey. Your device creates the packet and sends it to the router. Each router looks only at the destination and forwards the packet one step closer to its goal. Hop by hop, the packet crosses networks until it reaches the destination, where it's reassembled with the other packets. But the packet didn't travel by itself. Along the way, it passed through different machines. Each machine has one job. Let's meet them. I will group them into three simple categories: movers, guards, and watchers. If you remember these three groups, remembering the devices become much easier. First, the switch. Imagine an office. Many computers are connected together. The switch is the device that connects them all. When one computer sends data, the switch delivers it only to the correct computer. It doesn't disturb everyone else. Now, the router. A switch works inside one network. A router connects different networks together. Your home network, another company, a website across the world. The router finds the best path to reach them. Remember this: switch works inside one network. Router works between the networks. Before switches become common, there was the hub. A hub isn't smart. When one computer sends data, the hub copies it to every computer. Most devices simply ignore it. It's inefficient, insecure, and rarely used today. But you will still hear the name in networking. Next, the modem. Your internet service provider sends signals to your home. Your modem converts those signals into something your home network understands. Simply remember, no modem, no internet connection. And the next is access point. It takes your wide network and turns into Wi-Fi. Your laptop, your phone, your tablet all connect wirelessly through the access point. So those were the movers. Now let's meet the guards. They are the devices that protect the network. The most important one is the firewall. Every packet entering or leaving the network must pass through it. The firewall checks each packet against its security rules. Safe traffic goes through, dangerous traffic gets blocked. Imagine someone on the internet trying to reach a company server that should never be public. The firewall blocks the request immediately and it records everything that happened. That records becomes the alert a SOC analyst investigates. Finally, the watchers. These devices continuously watch network traffic looking for attacks. IDS stands for Intrusion Detection System. It watches the traffic. If it finds something suspicious, it raises an alert. That's all. It warns you. It doesn't stop the attack. IPS stands for Intrusion Prevention System. It also watches the traffic. But if it finds something dangerous, it blocks it automatically. Easy memory trick. Here is the easiest way to remember them. IDS is a smoke alarm. It tells you there is a fire. IPS is a sprinkler. It tells you and it puts the fire out. Types of networks. Not every network is the same size. Some connect just a few devices. Others connect the entire world. The names are actually very simple. They only tell you how far the network reaches. First is PAN, Personal Area Network. This is the smallest type of network. Think about your phone connected to your Bluetooth earbuds or smartwatch. Everything happens within a few meters. That's a PAN. Next is LAN, Local Area Network. This is a network inside a home, office, or school. It connects computers, laptops, printers, servers, and other devices in one location. As a SOC analyst, this is where you will spend most of your time protecting users and company systems. Then comes MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. A MAN connects multiple LANs across a city. Imagine a university with several campuses connected together, different locations, one large network. Finally, WAN, Wide Area Network. This connects networks across cities, countries, and even continents. The biggest example of WAN is the internet itself. Here is an easy way to remember them. PAN, your personal space. LAN, one building. MAN, one city. And the WAN, the whole world. Internet versus intranet. Now let's look at two important terms. The internet is the public network that everyone can access. An intranet is private. Only people inside an organization can use it. Same networking technology, different access. What if you are working from home or a coffee shop? That's where a VPN comes in. A VPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel through the public internet. It lets you connect safely to your company's private network from anywhere. For a SOC analyst, VPN logs are extremely important. They show who connected, when they connected, and from where. If an employee suddenly logs in from a country they have never visited, that's an alert worth investigating. Now let's look at one of the most important security concepts, the DMZ or demilitarized zone. Imagine a company has a public website. Anyone on the internet should be able to reach it, but you don't want strangers reaching your internal company network. So the public web server is placed in a separate area called the DMZ. It sits between the internet and the company's internal network. Think of it as a security buffer. Even if an attacker compromises the web server, there is still trapped inside the DMZ. The internal network stays protected behind another firewall. Data communication. We have learned how networks are built. Now let's learn the language you will see every day as a SOC analyst. These are the words that appear on dashboards, alerts, and investigations. Every communication starts with two devices, a sender and a receiver. One device sends the data, the other receives it. During a normal conversation, those roles keep changing. Your laptop sends a request, the server replies. Now, the server becomes the sender and your laptop becomes the receiver. You already know what a packet is, but there is another word you will hear, frame. Think of it this way. A packet is the data traveling across the network. A frame is that same packet prepared for the next local connection. Don't worry about the details yet. For now, just remember, packet travels across the networks. Frame travel across one local link. As the packet moves from one router to another, it gets wrapped in a new frame for each hop. The packet stays the same. Only the local frame changes. That's how packets move safely across different networks. Performance dashboard. Now let's look at 4 words every SOC analyst should know. This tells you how healthy a network is. First is bandwidth. Think of it as the size of a highway. The wider the highway, the more traffic it can carry. More bandwidth means more data can travel at the same time. Next is throughput. This is the amount of data that actually moving right now. A highway may have 6 lanes, but only 3 are being used. That's throughput. So remember, bandwidth is the capacity. Throughput is what actually being used. Latency is the delay. It's the time a packet takes to travel from sender to the receiver. Low latency feels fast. High latency feels slow. Jitter. Jitter measures consistency. If every packet arrives at nearly the same time, that's good. If some arrives early and others much later, that's jitter. High jitter causes choppy video calls and poor voice quality. Now let's put these ideas together. Imagine your entire company is downloading a large software update. The network becomes busy. Throughput goes up, but everything is working normally. Now imagine something very different. Thousands of infected computers suddenly flood your network with fake traffic. This is called a DDoS attack. Distributed denial of services. The goal isn't to steal data. It's to overwhelm the network so real users can't get true. Both situations make the network feel slow, but the causes are completely different. On one side, it's normal business activity. On the other, it's an active cyber attack. That's why understanding bandwidth, throughput, latency, and jitter matters. These numbers help a SOC analyst tell the difference between a busy Tuesday and a real attack. That's the job of a SOC analyst. The symptoms may look the same, but the traffic tells the real story. Let's lock in what you own now. You understand why networking is the endless crime scene. You can explain how data travels as packets and the header holds the who and where. You can name the devices, switch inside, router between, firewall at the door, IDS that screams, IPS that tags. You know your networking sizes PAN, LAN, MAN, and WAN, and the security shapes VPN and DMZ. And you can read the 4 performance words that separate a slow Tuesday from the DDoS. That's week 1. Next week, week 2, we go deeper IP addressing, subnetting made painless, and the attacks that hide inside ARP and DNS. If this built your foundation, subscribe so the next brick lands on your feed. Subscribe to TrinetraSOC right now. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a single video. The digital world needs defenders. I am Agent Netra and I will see you in the next video.